Hey everybody, welcome back to the Serving Pleasure Podcast.
Exotic Erotic.
With your hosts,
Wesley Corpola
and Bailey Schultz.
Orientalism is a way of seeing that imagines, emphasizes, exaggerates, and distorts differences of African, Arab, and East Asian peoples and cultures as compared to that of the West.
It often involves seeing cultures as exotic, over-sexualized, backwards, uncivilized, and at times, dangerous.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hi.
Hey, how's your mom?
That's great.
Give her our best.
So welcome to
Serving Pleasure Podcast, colon
Exotic
Erotic.
We have just a bundle of fun things coming this episode.
Yeah,
We can't predict this chapter because we haven't read it,
because that's part of the rules.
but
But I feel it.
It's a shorter chapter. We know that. It's 10 pages.
I can feel it. Either that or it's gonna rain. I can feel it in my hip.
I hope it's just a one-off sex scene. This is 10 pages long.
And I hope there are some casualties in this chapter.
And I hope they're just two new characters. And
That get killed.
we're
that have
introduced
sex
to
and
them.
then die.
And we're introduced to them.
I think that's. I'm not.
Mid-coitus.
I think that's on the table at this point, and I hope it's on the table.
Seeing that this is following the episode in which we had several offers of Cheetos prizes for people that were able to guess the Harry Potter movie and
The grunt.
Where the grunt's from. The only reason that is.
Unmistakable.
The
You either
Harry
know it or
Potter,
you don't. Honestly.
the Harry
We should
Potter,
just sleep on it.
the quote from Harry Potter was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. When Harry is in the cabin, Ruby Hagrid's cabin. Really unnecessary quote.
Also, this is unnecessary right now.
And the grunt is from Home Improvement. And because we recorded this right after that episode, sorry, we're not giving you Cheetos because we don't know.
You didn't get your best.
You didn't answer a
Before
question.
we uploaded the video.
So,
And we have no way of knowing now. You could have
Yeah.
hacked into Wesley's computer and gotten the audio file and heard the answers.
yeah, I mean, so
Maybe next time. We're never doing another contest, though, so probably
yeah,
not.
probably not. So, what is the title of this episode?
This week's episode is a building called Cops, but it's not a grocery store.
A building called Cops, but it's not a grocery store. This is the first one that doesn't start with the.
The building.
No, it's already a building, so I guess you're a trendsetter, huh? Bucking, Bronco. I don't know. Start reading.
Chapter 7. It took Holly a minute to reassure Griff that she wasn't being held against her will. He made her explain the circumstances of her abduction in detail.
Let's meet somewhere.
He said when she finished.
I want to see for myself if you're all right.
Have you talked to the police? She asked.
No way.
His hoarseness reminded her that, although it was mid-morning, musicians kept late hours.
They paged me, but when I realized it was the cops, I got off the line quick.
You're hiding?
Damn straight.
Said the drummer.
If the police decide your Sheikh didn't kill Jazz, they'll come after me next. I'm not letting them free me again.
Where are you? She asked.
A payphone. I'm not calling from anywhere they could trace.
Griff, she said, do you have any idea who killed my sister?
I wish I did.
Why did she run away before Ben was born? That doesn't make sense. Oh, okay. Okay. Why did she run away before Ben was born? She asked. Why did she send him to me? You're the only person who knows what she was thinking. In the background, over the phone, she could hear traffic noises.
Beep, beep.
What?
I've already been at this spot too long.
Griff said.
Let's meet.
He named the Mexican restaurant where Alice's Independence Day party had been held. Located in the town of Placentia, about 10 miles from Harbor View, it offered some secluded booths where they could talk.
Too close to placenta.
I almost said placenta. I guess so. To Sharif, Holly whispered, He wants to meet. The Sheikh nodded.
Come along.
Griff said. I can't. Hoping he wouldn't hang up, she quickly added, I may be in danger, and Ben too. We need Sharif to protect us.
Protect you? You're sure about that?
He's a good man, she told the musician. He's in the same boat you are when it comes to the police, so we're trying to find some leads they might miss.
And he needs you to help him?
Griff grumbled.
Well, that's your choice, I guess. Okay, he can come on one condition.
What's that?
You bring the baby too.
He said.
I miss the little guy.
Sure. They had no one to leave Ben with anyway.
See you in an hour.
Without waiting for her goodbye, the musician clicked off.
Why? I don't think clicked off. Is that really from that era?
I don't know, dude. Sharif raised an eyebrow questioningly. Holly explained about the meeting place.
You didn't act odd in any way.
The Sheikh asked.
Nothing to indicate this might be a trap.
He seemed normal, although I'm not sure I'd know if he was planning something. She'd been surprised at how protective Griff acted, but that was hardly suspicious.
Very well, we'll go. I will advise the herd.
He dialed the phone.
Busy.
Who do you suppose he's talking to? She mused.
He's on the internet.
Sharif said.
Digging up rumors and hopefully a few kernels of truth from our country. Well, if you can't beat them, join them. Isn't that how the saying goes?
That was definitely for the characters.
I will send him an email.
God, remember when you had to get off the internet when a call was going to come through?
No.
Opening his laptop, he attached the phone to the modem. As he typed, Holly peered outside. Storm clouds gathering across the sun gave the landscape a sepia tinge, and branches shivered in gusts of wind. She hoped the rain would hold off until after their rendezvous. After Sharif finished, she washed out the remainder of the dye. A blow-dryer would have been helpful, but his hair fell smoothly into place when she combed it. Why can't he comb his own damn hair? Except for his build and his striking bone structure, he scarcely resembled the man she'd seen yesterday in the alley. With his clean-shaven face and trimmed medium brown hair, he could have passed for a local businessman. I'm not going to touch that. Well, only at first glance, she decided. On closer...
That's bad.
On closer inspection, she didn't see how anyone could miss the wildness seething just below the surface.
That might be the worst
I think that
paragraph
is.
that's been
I think it is.
so far.
He could never pass for a businessman. Yikes.
Are we good? Good.
He stood and tossed aside the drape. Don't you want to see yourself? She handed him a small mirror. He spent about 2 seconds regarding his reflection.
It will go back as before, will it not?
Why the hell wouldn't it grow? Do you think she changed his genes while... I'm so mad.
Let's read on. Maybe she did.
She folded her arms. Don't bother showering me with compliments.
I'd rather shower with you with answers to our questions.
I'm really hoping
I thought that was supposed to
I'd rather just shower with you. I'd rather shower you with answers to our questions.
He reached for a map book. You know, an atlas.
What? You mean like Google Maps?
Yes.
Now, show me how to get to placenta.
Sharif circled the block twice, checking for anything out of the ordinary. Foot traffic consisted primarily of women strolling with their children alongside shops that offered jewelry, discount items, and video rentals in Spanish and English. Ooh!
Wow, they're so diverse.
Cars, small trucks, and minivans lined the curb.
Who cares?
Who the fuck cares?
What does Griff drive?
He asked as he turned onto the block for the third time. Something old and rusty, as I recall, Holly sighed. That could apply to half the vehicles here.
Do you know if he carries a gun?
He's a convicted felon, she pointed out. It would mean big trouble if he got caught.
Second Amendment. You should have the right to bear a gun.
Spotting an open space beside the curb, Sharif backed slowly to compensate for the unfamiliar bulk of the truck. Do you believe he was... Oh.
Do you believe he was innocent of the drug charge?
I was hoping that you would just ask that question. I'm gonna keep that. I'm not gonna
Because
edit
he
that
knows
part.
about criminals.
Well, what do you think? He doesn't know his background at all. Do you think? Let me hear your thoughts.
Probably, but that doesn't mean the prosecution railroaded him. Holly adjusted a strap on the used car seat that Zahad had acquired for Ben. He couldn't even get them a new one. It's a used car seat. So much for being a great assistant. His pals who got convicted with him almost certainly were guilty.
He's just trying to speed up. He's just like quickly getting it in and everything, and getting it in because he wanted to get back to his motorcycle.
That's true.
He didn't want to spend any more time.
And this is the only car seat that was compatible for the sidecar.
Yeah.
He was guilt by association, and I can understand his bitterness.
Behind them, a car honked, impatient at having its lane blocked. Sharif eased the truck into the space. The idiot kept honking, as if a 5-second delay posed a major imposition. When the truck's wheels straightened, the car shot past with a final annoyed blare of the horn. The Sheikh hoped the ruckus hadn't attracted too much attention.
Stay in the truck until I come around,
he said.
Take Ben out of his seat. Get ready to move quickly.
Holly didn't argue. She stayed remarkably calm under the pressure, he thought. As he swung down from the pickup, Sharif watched for any sudden movements on the street. Seeing none, he opened Holly's door and whisked her and Ben toward the restaurant. The glass front of the building reflected a man Sharif barely recognized as himself, clean-shaven and garbed in a black leather jacket that Zahad had provided. With luck, no one would recognize him from the pictures on TV. Inside, the place was redolent of chili peppers and spicy meat. The smoky front window and weak bulbs and wall sconces sank the place in gloom. From a large room filled with long tables, a smaller room opened on the left. To the right, past the cashier's desk, a bar echoed with taped mariachi music. Several of the long tables were occupied by groups of men. Sharif didn't see anyone matching Griff's description. Yes. A waiter approached with frayed menus. Holly bounced the baby on her hip. We're meeting someone. He's short, blonde, with a beard. This way. He took them into the room on the left through a welter of square tables. Sharif's instincts sprang to alert as they approached a shadowed booth in the back. The waiter stood aside. From inside the booth, a man leaned forward until the faint light revealed a narrow face, shaggy dark blonde hair, and a scraggly beard.
Do you think it's him?
Mm-mm. Hi, Griff.
Uh-huh.
Holding the baby, Holly slid onto the bench opposite the man. How are you?
Not bad. Hey, you look interesting. As a brunette, I mean.
After a quick, shrewd glance at Sharif, the man reached a hand across the table toward Ben.
How you doing, little man? Want to hand him over? I think he misses me.
Sharif saw that his son was indeed gurgling, and waving. They read way too much into what this baby does. Was indeed gurgling and waving his arms toward the stranger. Biting back a protest, he took his seat beside Holly and allowed her to give the child to Griff. The man tucked Ben into the crook of his arm.
You guys hungry?
Starving. In the narrow booth, Holly's thigh pressed against Sharif's.
Oh, they're gonna play footsie. Maybe do more.
Anybody got money?
I have some.
The Sheikh kept his focus on the musician, yet he was keenly aware of the woman next to him and of her slightly more relaxed posture. Possibly the restaurant seemed like a safe place to her, while for him it was full of potential threats. To the waiter, Griff instructed,
Bring us an assortment of tacos, rellenos, and enchiladas and 3 plates, okay?
Si, senor. The man retrieved their menus and departed. The thin man studied Sharif.
You're really, Sheikh? You look more like some motorcycle dude. The upscale variety.
Oh, Zahad would be so proud of himself.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Sharif said.
You wouldn't happen to be an undercover cop, by any chance?
The man asked.
If I would ever have you, baby, as a hostage.
He replied. Did you close your mouth? What?
Good point. Sorry.
Griff shrugged.
I get paranoid sometimes.
I wouldn't pull a stunt like that, Holly said, outraged. Paranoid or not, you ought to know that. Now, are you going to answer our questions?
Escalate.
The man said. She leaned across the table. Did you know Jazz was a surrogate mother?
Not until she camped out at my place for over a month.
The man clucked at the infant in his arm.
I guess once she found out she'd been lied to, beep, boop, boop, she got really close-mouthed about everything.
Was that you?
He's a robot now.
Oh, okay.
I do?
Sharif said. The man regarded him coolly.
Yeah, about you.
He does got that like a robot. I thought that was him clucking at the infant.
It's both. He makes the same sound.
Being in public gave Holly a sense of disorientation. How could everything seem so normal when the world had spun off its axis? Yet she didn't feel frightened, not with Sharif at her side. Oh, how the turntables. Confined in the booth, he kept shifting restlessly and alternately, clasped and flexed his hands atop the scarred wooden table. His energy made him seem larger than life.
The clinic lied to her about me?
He asked Griff.
Some guy who works there, Manuel, that's the name, said he needed to talk to her.
Griff's voice took on a sing-song quality.
So she met him for coffee, or in her case, herb tea.
Manuel Estrellas?
Sharif asked.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Griff clucked at Ben. Are you kidding me? That's how long it's been. It's the same page.
Cluck.
Cluck.
At first she told me she thought this guy was joking when he said the father was a sheik. She didn't know they existed outside of old movies.
Okay, it's not lying just because she thought it was a joke.
Yeah, definitely not.
I did not tell her about me until she was already pregnant.
Sharif asked.
She was a few weeks from delivering, and they...
Now he's an Australian robot. Wakes. He's transforming as we dinner. Mate. Beep boop. Look.
She was a few weeks from delivering, and they didn't tell her anything. I guess as Manuel figured she had a right to know.
From his pocket, Sharif drew the note that Zahad had given him.
Jazz knows.
He read.
Apparently this is what she do. But who wanted to call Miss Wheaton with this information?
Who say? He's so drunk. He broke off as the waiter arrived with their lunch. A platter was heaped with Mexican food, while the 3 plates came already half filled by refried beans and Spanish rice.
What are those?
The Sheikh indicated one of the items on the platter.
Stuffed chili peppers, rellenos.
Griff said.
What are they stuffed with?
Just eat one,
said the musician.
Is he always like this? I'm not trying to poison you.
Sharif scooped one onto his plate.
I apologize. Please, tell us more about Jasmine.
She thought she was having the kid for a married couple.
Griff paused to wolf down some food. Did she say why Manuel decided to tell her the truth? Holly asked.
Not that I recall.
Griff helped himself to another enchilada. Under their questioning, he told them that Jazz had refused to go to a hospital, so he'd arranged for a midwife. He'd been out of town with the band when she gave birth at home. Afterwards, she'd seemed wrapped up in the baby. As far as he knew, she hadn't had any visitors. "Why did she send Ben to me?" Holly asked. Griff washed down his food with a glass of water.
One day she told me she was going to meet somebody who could straighten things out. That's the way she put it.
Did she mention a name?
Sharif watched the man closely.
Noreen Wheaton, perhaps?
God, I am just getting so excited about Noreen Wheaton.
Nah. I don't even know if it was a guy or a girl.
He said.
Jazz did say.
He paused, ill at ease for the first time.
She said she expected to come into some serious money.
Could Jazz have tried to blackmail the clinic director? That didn't sound like the sister Holly knew. I can't believe she'd do anything dishonest.
Whoever this person was, Jasmine apparently did not trust him near her son.
The Sheikh pointed out. Which is interesting that he said.
Yeah.
Well, very inconsistent with his character.
Maybe he's having a little character arc.
I don't think so. I think that probably Jacqueline used the wrong pronoun. Griff nodded.
Yeah. She asked me to play babysitter. She said she was going to pick him up in a day or so. Then she just disappeared. No note, no word about where she was going. I figured she was okay.
What was her mood right before she left? She asked. Did she seem scared?
Not really.
Griff said.
A little angry, maybe. And
he's a robot. They shouldn't ask him to identify emotions.
He's clearly a robot.
Come on.
And kind of pleased with herself, like she'd caught somebody in the act. But what act? I don't know.
Sharif scanned the room, as he had done periodically since they sat down.
If anyone would scan the room, it would be Griff.
It's like a laser.
Cluck, cluck.
Is there anything else you can tell us?
I can't think of anything.
We must be going. We have already stayed longer than is safe.
Sharif picked up the bill while Holly collected the baby.
I hope you nailed the creep who did this.
Griff said.
Jazz was a good friend.
She taught me to love. It's short-circuiting. Good friend. I know. Thank you for helping her. And us. Holly touched his arm gently before they left. After paying, Sharif went outside first. A moment later, he gave the all-clear. Holly hurried to the truck. While she strapped Ben in his seat, Sharif checked the hood and beneath the chassis. Chassis? Someone who knows anything about a car, let us know.
We're not going to do Cheetos.
At last, he vaulted into the driver's seat and locked the doors. What were you looking for? She asked.
Signs of tampering!
Signs of tampering! Fear crept along her skin. It would mine, too, if you said it like that. Her stiff fingers fumbled with her own seatbelt.
I doubt anyone would be so bold on such a busy street.
Sharif added.
But it is a standard precaution.
That comforted her only a little. What do we do next?
We need to find this clinic worker, Manuel Estrellas.
The Sheikh slowed, nearing a red light.
He is a link to both Jasmine and Miss Wheaton.
Surely the police already...
Down!
As he shouted, the Sheikh slammed the truck to the left. Flinging herself over Ben, Holly heard a loud crack. The windshield! Something had hit the windshield! End of whatever chapter we're on. Wow.
Oh, absolutely cray-cray.
Maybe my new favorite character, but only because of what you did with it.
I hope we never return to him again.
That's enough. That is enough. Never
anymore.
again.
I do like the fact that he's a drummer, and that he probably sings.
Funny that they call him a drummer and also a musician. Burn! Sorry to any percussionist listeners.
I'm a drummer. Ever heard the Naked Brothers band? I'm one of the Naked Brothers. What do you think of this chapter? It was short, not a lot to take from
I didn't like that about it. That was my favorite part about whatever that chapter was. I could only count to 5. So.
I did like, I don't know, this one seemed like pretty fluid.
I'm a great
Yeah,
interpreter
really?
reader.
No, it seemed like it just kept on pace. Like,
Yeah.
they threw in the romance.
A little.
Um,
Luckily.
yeah, I mean, they threw it in enough for this chapter.
Yeah.
They kept it plot-centric, but you also had the teasing underneath the table.
Oh.
That, I don't know about you, I can't speak for you, but I was turned on significantly.
I was already turned on before that, and then actually just killed it for me.
Oh, wow.
It's because I like the word chapter.
This was the chapter that had the worst
Yes, that
paragraph
was bad.
and I'm going to actually I'm going to capture this for our book review at the very end.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about that because that is
It's warranted.
Yeah, it's warranted. That is where we are talking about. If you're jumping in right now into this podcast,
if you're just now tuning in,
it's about how he could never pass himself off as a businessman.
it was like he almost could pass off for a businessman, but just kidding. Once you look at him, you can't miss it.
Only at a glance.
Only at a glance, yeah.
If you did a passing glance, it looked blurred,
and your eyes were closed.
you'd realize that he's a human and perhaps a businessman. But then you realize that he's more than just a human. He's a man of the desert. Okay, so what's clack, clack, clack. What are your reviews of this chapter?
I give it a golden egg.
I give this chapter a Willy Wonka.
The part where he does that fall and then he does the somersault.
No, the one where he's like pissed off at his desk.
Okay, so a Gene Wilder Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Or Johnny Depp one, but I'm guessing he's going to be at his desk, like, behind the scenes, when he's just, like, frustrated with how the scene's going.
It's
just Johnny Depp in his costume. He's like, why? Why did I sign on to this movie? Gene Wilder hates it. I give it one of those.
Yeah. That's like what mine kind of do.
You know, golden egg. Yeah, we kind of covered the same ground. We're really wasting airtime right now. So that is the end of this episode. Significantly shorter than our 50-minute episode last time. This is going to be like 30 minutes, maybe probably under. So thanks for listening. And
stay safe.
yeah.